the top of my head is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wow. I mean, you even said last year that you would have looked into that.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the situation.
I definitely think we should have signed him.
You said not this year, though, because the quarterbacks are different.
Well, no, because I remember towards the end of us talking about that on the podcast, I forgot about our conversation we had where you mentioned that there would never be a quarterback controversy, no matter who we brought in. So that's what I was thinking. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, Cap's been away 3 years. Mm-hmm. Ben's the guy. He would clearly be the guy. But I'll tell you what, logistically, just if you're looking at the quarterbacks we have left in the room, Kaepernick I'd take Kaepernick over Mason and Duck right now.
Hey, man, I'm just saying, I personally, I'm there. But I also told you that because of how everything has transpired this offseason when it comes to quarterbacks and conversations about the Steelers and quarterbacks, hey, we've made our bed, we laying in it. I got you on that. Okay, cool.
So you think, well, we even had this conversation with Jameis and Cam, now Kaepernick, or even drafting one of the guys.
The quarterback, yeah.
It seems like we're pretty set on
like Mason I said, Kevin Colbert has said it numerous times. Not just Mason and Duck, they even throw in Paxton Lynch as well. So hey, don't shoot the messenger, baby. I just report the news. That's all I do, baby. I report it. Now, for me personally, if it was me, hey, like I said, I was interested in Jameis. I was interested in Cam Newton. And I'm currently interested in Colin Kaepernick because it's at least intriguing enough to, like you said, at least bring him in for a workout. I'm not saying you got to sign him today. I want to see what you got. Let me see if you still could throw it. You still running around. You fast. Like, I want to see all of those things, of course. And I think it's a similar conversation with the Cam Newton because people have asked, and even me and you were talking about this in terms of, well, why is it that Colin Kaepernick is getting this excitement and people are looking to sign him, but not the same energy with Cam? I think the difference is with Cam, because of his injury history and them not being able to physically get their hands on him right now, I think that's the only reason why he's not signed. I think in a traditional offseason where he'll be able to fly into different cities and get tested by team doctors, because I can go to my own doctor. But if you're the billionaire owner and this is your investment, you want your doctors looking at them because you trust those guys. You don't employ these other guys. You trust the guys that you employ. So it's different. And I mean, that's one of the things I hated at the combine was like, you have an ankle injury and literally all 32 team doctors are going to test you. You can't just get tested for him and just share your results. No. Each team has to have their own guy look at it. So I think that's the biggest reason why Cam Newton hasn't been signed yet. But with Kaepernick, he doesn't have an injury history like that. The only time he was hurt was that going into that last year in San Fran, which led to everything with, Blaine Gabbert took his spot. No, he didn't. We already broke that down too. But that was really the only time he's been injured. Other than that, it's just the 3-year layoff. So.
And I did look up his stats because we were just mentioning in passing last week. He had 16 touchdowns, 4 picks. It was in 11 or 12 games. And then I think he had almost 500 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. So and that 49ers team was just god awful.
It was trash.
It was just really bad because, I like the QBR is just something to look at and something to consider. He had a 50 QBR, which is just straight up average. Yeah. But consider the other numbers. Like I said, those are pretty good numbers, and the team was pretty bad. Mm-hmm. He was, I would say at least top 20, maybe top 17, 18 in the league at that point. And
that was, like I said, on a terrible year for him because compared to the other years, he was playing very well. He was very productive. Like I said, the starting quarterback on the team that went to the Super Bowl. Yeah. And we talked about how last year with Mason and Duck, I think a lot of people were agreeing, even this offseason, that was the whole conversation of why we either need Ben to be back 100% healthy or potentially upgrade the backup quarterback spot because we never felt as if Mason or Duck could take us to the Super Bowl. And I think that was the difference. Whereas with Cap, we saw him take him to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I was thinking at least last year, if we would have signed Cap in the middle of the season, with just how our offense was at that point, at least he could have done something with his legs. Like some of those passes that were being made by Mason, Duck was throwing it down the field a little bit more, but still there was some cause for concern there. I think Cap could have made most of those throws, but then that element with the legs could have been huge for us.
That's a game changer. Without a doubt, it's a game changer.